So what major do you need to be considered a pre-med? The reality is it doesn't matter. You can be pre-med out of any major. Now, what is the most common major? It's generally going to be in the biological sciences, so that's a biochem, etc. But you can still be pre-med out of any major. It could be a psych major, sociology, it could be history, it could be music. It doesn't matter. As long as you're taking the pre-med prereqs and plan to take the MCAT and apply to medical school, you are a pre-med student. So don't let what major you decide box you in. And if you started as a different major, it doesn't mean you can't switch to pre-med. That's definitely not the case. Now, there are some advantages to taking science majors because they fulfill the pre-med prereqs a lot of times. So if you're a biochem major, a lot of times you're going to take the intro bios, you're going to take biochem, you're going to take chemistry, and then it's a lot easier. You're probably going to take physics, orgo. So then you only have to fill in a couple of the other ones, which is like a math and stat, or like a calc and stats requirement, which a lot of times those are part of the major as well. Then you need 1 year of English, usually need 2 social sciences for most schools. Again, prereqs will vary by school as well, but in general, most schools are looking for the same ones, which are what I pretty much just mentioned. So that is how you become a pre-med student. You don't have to have a specific apply to a college that has a specific pre-med program. That's not really a thing. There's no such thing as a pre-med major. Some programs might try to position themselves like that this major is what our pre-meds take, which makes sense. I know I had that at Cornell. The major which was human biology, health, and society. Don't ask me why. It's such a long, fancy, unnecessary name. But it was kind of like a bio-nutrition major. And in that major, literally all my pre-med recs were built in, which was really nice. And then I was able to take other upper-level electives. Like I took a lot of health policy classes, nutrition classes that I personally enjoyed. But when you're choosing a major for college, and especially if you know you're going to be pre-med, still, I highly recommend doing something that you are going to enjoy because that's what your upper level classes are going to be in. Now, if you are a science-minded person, you enjoy science, that's part of the reason that you're going to be pre-med. Now, that's tricky in its own because realistically, you should want to be a doctor, which is different than just liking science. But let's say you really like biology, then there's no reason you can't just be a bio major. It's not just because a lot of students do it doesn't mean you can't choose that major. And on the flip side, just because a lot of students aren't music majors and then go to pre-med doesn't mean you can't do that as well. So hopefully that clears some things up when it comes to picking your major as a pre-med student. And I'll see you in the next video. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.